Shalom to the elect. We are the Hebrew Israelites becoming to preach the downfall of America and to tell the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans their new true nationality according to the Bible, that you are the Hebrew Israelites by blood, by nationality, all right, not by religion or by fad or trends, none of that. All right, so but before that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh by Shem Yahushua by Shem Rakafadashu.
All right, that's the Heavenly Father's true name, being Yahweh in the ancient Hebrew, and His Son name being Yahushai. All right, through the Holy Spirit, which is the Rakah Kodash. All right, contrary to popular belief in a Christian church, all right, there's no such thing as the Trinity. All right, it's not real, it doesn't exist. All right, there's the Most High, the Creator, is one being, and He tasked His Son Yahushai, whom is His only begotten Son, meaning that He was the only Spirit created, and He tasked Him with the creation of all things. All right, to keep it very simple. All right, they're on one accord. That's why they are one. Just like me and this brother are on one accord, so we are one, meaning we're one body. We're one with Yahushua. That doesn't make us one being. All right, so going into today's lesson, just talking about what's coming to America, and not even just America, but worldwide, but primarily here in the Americas, you're going to see a great food crisis, which is going to lead to the biblical prophecy, a famine. There's going to be a great famine in the world, but we're going to focus here on America because this is where the great tribulation is going to happen, pursuant to Daniel 12:1, Jeremiah 30, I want to say, which is Jacob's trouble, which is going to be, and then when you go into 2 Esdras 15, which goes into in depth, the great tribulation, destruction, the famine, the wickedness, basically a time like never ever seen before on earth. All post-apocalyptic movies that you can think of, wrapped together, multiplied by 20. All right, that's how bad it's going to be. And it's going to be a time like never been before, and it's never going to be a time like it ever again to come. Because after Jacob's trouble, there's going to come World War III, which is going to be the war against Yahushua, which is going to lead into the kingdom. All right, but before that, it's going to be famine, all right, food, water, damn,
Slack, yeah. I'm gonna turn to the side like this and see if it's gonna blow like that.
All right, there's going to be a famine of food and water, all right, bread, all right, and it's going to be, everyone's going to be invading one another because they're going to be wanting to eat. Everyone's going to feed their family.
I'll start with 2nd Esdras 16 chapter when the Lord sends the plagues. Yeah, 16 and 14. Start there. The reason why, because once you bring that out real quick, I'm gonna go into this article, clean it up. 16 and 14 starting out.
2 Esdras 16:14, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the whole earth.
Go ahead.
The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in the fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Right there, bro. That's exactly what I want. So I got the brother to bring that out because it's going to go straight into this article. It's a lot more than that, but I wanted to touch on that, and then you can dive in. All right. So there's an article that just came out on RT News, June 26th. I believe today's the 26th. Yeah, today came out earlier today. And it says world headed for food wars, major commodities trader. So basically, I'm gonna read it. It says geopolitical tensions and protectionist policies have been exacerbating inflation globally, according to Olan Agri. The world is facing food wars as geopolitical tensions have triggered a rise of protectionism amid concerns about waning supplies. According to one of the largest global agricultural commodity traders, Olam Agri, as cited by the Financial Times on Wednesday, the Singapore-based trading house is part of the wider Olam Group, which operates in more than 60 countries and supplies food and industrial raw materials to 22,000 customers worldwide. He says, we have fought many wars over oil. We will soon fight bigger wars over food and water. Olam Agri's chief executive Sonny Verghese was quoted as saying at the Republic Atlantic and Rothschild Consumer Conference last week. The CEO warned that trade barriers imposed by governments seeking to prop up domestic food stocks has exacerbated food inflation. All right. So basically, what they're saying is this, man. The petrodollar is already coming to an end. Salakia. The Lord trying.
This windy wood.
The Lord trying to get me to fly off already. Hey,
Benjamin Franklin.
yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it. All right. So one thing is this: the petrodollar is already on its way out. We already know that most nations are dropping the dollar, so there won't be many wars based on oil anymore. America has stockpiles of oil and reserves that they can actually tap into, so they're going to be okay. But the future wars that come, like is stated here, is going to be over food and water. Why is that? Remember when the war in Ukraine and Russia first started? Who were the biggest exporters of agriculture, crops, and non-GMO foods? It was Ukraine and Russia, mainly in Ukraine. Most of that land has been decimated.
Exporter or importer?
Exporting.
I thought you said import. I was thinking about Israel.
No, exporting.
But they're
No,
one of the biggest on imports.
All the countries, and I was going to get into
Europe too.
But listen what you just said. This is why there's going to be great wars, because all the nations, right? All the nations of the Edomite empires are all nations that have to take in a lot of imports because they don't have much fertile land. And one thing about the so-called white man, when it comes to resources, they are very, very, very greedy. So what they're going to do is, it also says in here that people have put tariffs and sanctions to hoard in more and more of resources. Most of the European or so-called white nations are all imported nations. So what is that going to cause to the world? Wars on food and water, right? Because as these white nations start to feel the plight of hunger, like these third world nations are starting to feel, they are going to start going to war over resources. And we know that the Most High has blessed Esau with the sword, so they are going to use it. This is why in 2nd Esdras 16 and 14 chapter, it literally says the beginnings of great sorrows, right? The beginnings of famine and death. It's the first thing it says. It says famine and death, right? We also talk about how. Keep reading. Keep reading.
2nd Esdras 16, starting at 19. Behold, the famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, and are sent out as judgment for iniquities.
And a scourge is supposed to be sent out for correction, right? So it's judgment for correction. But
it says, behold, victuals. No. It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And like the brother said, they're sent out for correction, but these people are specifically going into so-called Black, Latino, Native Americans, right? Israelites. They're not going to turn from their wickedness. They're not going to look at the famine and the pestilence and the destruction as scourges, as chastisement from Heavenly Father.
Yep.
They're just going to look at it as shit that's going on in the world, and they're going to be thinking on, okay, how can we get off? How can we progress from this? The 2/3 of our people here in America, they're going to turn to Esau, pursuing to Isaiah 30 and 31. They're going to turn to Esau or Egypt for help in those days.
Yep.
But Esau is going to be a part of the problem, because the Most High is going to utilize Esau to make certain moves that cause famine.
Yep.
Right?
Which they've already been doing. Which Esau is basically, Esau has been creating these famines on purpose because they're trying to have world domination. One thing is this: you got to understand what is a siege, right? When you want to lay siege to a land or to destroy a nation, you first cut off the food and water supply, and you starve them out. Especially when it's a nation that's too strong to go to war with. You're going to do what? You're going to cut off their resources so they cannot stay strong.
Weaken it from the inside.
Weaken them from the inside out, right? It says, keep reading the article. It says the CEO warned that trade barriers imposed by governments seeking to prop up domestic food stocks has exacerbated food inflation. According to the report, food prices started to climb in the wake of the pandemic and soared after the escalation of the Ukraine conflict and Western sanctions against Russia. The restrictions have resulted in some exports of grain and fertilizer being blocked, deepening food insecurity in poorer countries and exacerbating the cost of living crisis. At the same time, big agricultural commodity traders reaped record profits in 2022. Why? Because inflation. So what it is, what is inflation, right? How do you reap in profits, right? So you got to understand something. It's supply and demand. If the supply is running low, demand is high, the price soars. So these agricultural companies are living deliciously off of the plight of the world and famine, right? But this was all created and orchestrated by the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, because they're trying to lay siege to the world. They want their new world order. They want to have complete control and reigns over everything before Yahweh Shai comes back, because they know they have but a short time.
It's crazy because I went to Sprouts yesterday.
Oh yeah, they finally opened that joint up.
Yeah, shit popping.
I got one right next to my job.
I know. I used to go to that one.
And remember, they got the seeded watermelons.
They got them there, loaded.
Bro, I'm going over.
I just grabbed one. I gotta grab Lacamau one this weekend. So,
I'm gonna go grab like 3-4 of them.
But I went there yesterday, and I'm a little bougie, so
Shalom, Shemaiah.
I'm a little bougie, so I'm not going. I'm gonna go get the best quality, right? It's all poison at the end of the day.
Yep.
But the saying, you pick your poison. So I'm gonna get the best out of the worst. So we go to Sprouts. I literally went in there. I grabbed a seeded watermelon. I grabbed some cherries.
Yep,
it's fresh. I grabbed some cherries. I grabbed a bag of Honeycrisp apples. And I grabbed a few other things, some sourdough bread, and a few other things. Literally probably had 10 items, maybe not even. $65.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
It's insane.
But I would also say Sprout, because Sprout is basically a big farmer's market. So everything is a lot more expensive.
Yep.
I put it like this: in Sprout, having a Sprout, that's how you know our neighborhood is coming up.
Yeah.
Bro, they redoing all the roads. That's why property values shot the hell out. But basically, Sprout is one of those. It's a farmer's market, and everything in there is actually a lot more cleaner than any other market.
They get it from local
farms. So like seeded watermelons, where you go find a fucking seeded watermelon?
You can't find it anywhere in
You
Philadelphia.
go to ShopRite, Acme, all these other ones. You're not gonna find a seeded watermelon, but you go to Sprout, you're gonna find them.
Yep.
Right? So, but what the brother was saying was, after only buying maybe 4 or 5 things, his bill came up to $65. Eventually, it's going to be even higher than that.
Yep.
One watermelon back in the day used to cost $2-3.
Yeah, it's like this. I think it's like $7.99.
Yeah, $7.99 for one of the, but it's big.
It's a big one.
You can get a big one.
Still, watermelon ain't that even though it may be big, it's not that much. I can eat a whole watermelon in a day, bro. It's like 95% water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can eat this shit in a day, especially on a hot day like today. And then you talk about trying to feed a family, bro. It's ridiculous, man.
Con. It says, continuing on the article, it says, I'm going to start right here, so for whoever who didn't hear this. According to the report, food prices started to climb in the wake of the pandemic and soared after the escalation of Ukraine conflict and Western sanctions against Russia. The restrictions have resulted in some exports of grain and fertilizers being blocked, deepening food insecurities in poor countries and exacerbating the cost of living crisis. At the same time, big agricultural commodity traders reaped record profits in 2022. Verghese pointed out, according to the CEO, the elevated food price inflation was in part the result of government intervention as wealthier countries stockpiled surpluses of strategic commodities, which had created an exacerbated demand-supply imbalance. India, China, everybody has got buffer stocks, Verghese said, adding, this is only exacerbating the global problem. Climate change, which has hampered agricultural production globally, has also led to the rise of protectionism worldwide. Verghese argued he mentioned Indonesia banning palm oil exports in 2022 to protect the local market, and India imposing exports restrictions on certain types of rice last year is an effort to curb rising domestic prices. You are going to see more and more and more of this going forward. Sooner or later, we will have war and nations will be fighting over food. The Lord prophesied about this, right? The Lord sent this. The Lord has spoken this already. Go ahead. And mind you, this is also during a day, and this is the Lord also talks about what is going to happen to people who are not protected by Him during this time, right? And what they're going to be eating themselves, cannibalism, eating their kids, eating their family members.
I think 16 towards the end going to that too.
Yeah. What?
2nd Ezra 16:21. Behold, victuals shall be showed cheap upon earth. They shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sore famine and great confusion.
Mm-hmm.
It was once upon a time when things were so cheap. Gas was $2. Now gas, I haven't seen gas below $4 in like 2 years, 3 years. You know, and I got it for premium in my car, right?
Yep.
So it's like I can't remember the last time I paid $2 for some gas. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
So listen to that. Many of those in the world will die of famine, and those who escape their hunger will die of the sword. Why? Because they're going to be at war. A lot of people are, because they're going to be drafts, right? There was just an amended bill, I think it was passed like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where now they're going to make it mandatory for people from 18 to 26 to automatically be part of the draft. And then they amended the bill where women are going to be a part of that as well. A lot of people are going to be lining up, right? Lining up to join the war effort to do what? To escape the hunger. And in doing so, they're going to die of the sword, right? The Lord has spoken these things in the end days. And we're literally, it's starting to speed up, right? The Lord, everything's happening in a gradual state. But the Lord is allowing us to know, like the Lord allowed us to know, those who are in the know, right? And we giving it to you freely because it was freely given. That these are the times you want to cling to Yahweh Bashim El Shah, because you want to be protected out of this, man, right? It literally says that most people are going to die of famine, and then if not of famine, they're going to die of the sword. From what? War, right? And if they don't die of war, they're going to die of pestilence. And why pestilence? Because the more and more, now listen to the triple line, right? The more famine you have, the death toll is going to go up. As the death toll goes up, right? Because the Lord says that there's going to be a point of time where people are not going to, the love of many shall wax cold, and no one's going to be burying each other. What's going to happen when dead bodies are all over the ground? What happens? Pestilence, diseases.
Not only that, too, with famine comes
rats,
a lack of immunity. Because your body's not getting proper nutrients, so therefore you're not going to be able to replenish your white blood cells. They're not going to thrive, which boom opens you up to pestilence. Common diseases, and that pestilence doesn't have to be crazy shit. It could be the common cold. The common cold could just run rampant because everyone's immune system is so shot that the cold is killing people like the Black Plague.
No vitamin C, no vitamin D, no B6, B12.
Exactly, because people are not going to want to be outside. They're going to be covered.
Right. The scriptures talk about that. That the houses shall be. I think you grabbed that. The houses shall be.
The houses shall be.
It's not, I know it doesn't say boarded up, but it says the houses shall be shut. I think it says the houses shall be shut. Salakia if I got that wrong. The brother brought out 2 Ezra 15. I was going to get into that too, brother, but Thawada. The brother Ashemaiah brought out 2 Ezra 15:4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, save Yahweh Bashim El Shah. I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Exactly. These were those scourges of amendment that's in the very next chapter. What?
This is Sirach 12. And let's see. Let's start from the top. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth. Going into thy youth. Not only meaning like your actual youth, but really in the times that we're in. When we're at liberty, the world seems to still be going on. It's not war and pestilence and famine. Remember the Most High when things are good. It says, while the evil days come not, right before the evil days come.
So the Lord, and right now, because mind you, the evil days are upticking. We're starting to see that the evils are increasing upon the earth. We do see that.
It's not just not that evident.
But everybody in America right now, unless you're really below the poverty line, you kind of all right now. All right, look, we outside walking. And we ain't worried about nobody shooting us or trying to steal our gas off the gas tank, because you know that's going to be happening. People going to be siphoning gas. The love of many going to watch school. People going to be killing each other. There's going to be sects of cannibalists and shit trying to set traps and eat. We not there yet, but we're getting there. So that's why I'm saying, when you are at liberty, while you are young, while you can think, while you still have time, go ahead.
It says, remember thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not.
Okay.
Nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few.
Now, and it says, and look, when the strong men shall bow themselves. Why are the strong men bowing themselves? Because what? The pride is gone, right? Security is gone. One thing about a man is, a man usually acquires wealth to what? Take care of his family, right?
When that wealth means
When
nothing.
that wealth means nothing, and then you got kids and your woman, and they can get us some food, we hungry, and they starving, and you sitting there, you bowing yourself, right? Right?
Because the modern day strong man is not the ancient strong,
Strong
man.
man.
The ancient strong,
Strong
man
man
was
was actually strong.
metaphysically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mind,
Well,
body, and spirit. No, you're
but,
right.
But
Mind, body, and
now
spirit. It's
the
just-
modern day strong man is all about
Oh,
wealth.
wealth.
Wealth is power.
Yep.
And most of the wealthy men you see nowadays are out of shape.
Yep.
All right, they're out of shape men that don't know how to do anything for themselves because they pay everybody to do everything. So they're not going to be able to provide in the times of famine and tribulation. They don't know how to start a fire. They don't know how to rig together a tent and different things like that.
They don't even have the mental fortitude to actually go out and get it.
And get it, yep.
Like what I mean by that is when all hell break loose, people gonna be out searching for food.
Yeah.
Right? That's why the Lord talks about because matter of fact that's in section 200 15th chapter. But hey Ashemaiah, we gonna jump back over there in a second.
He just brought 16 out, but we're gonna get back into it. Sirach 12 and 3 finishing. It says, "And those that look out the windows be darkened."
Oh, Salaki, read one up because you said the grinding.
So I'm gonna just read 3 again.
Okay.
And in the day of the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few.
The grinding mean what? Workers are going to cease, right? It's not going to be much work out here. So guess what? No work, no money, no resources, no food,
No production.
no production, nothing, right? The houses are going to be darkened. People are literally going to be in a very low state. Go ahead.
And those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. I think that's the point.
No, that was the point?
The point, yep.
Now I'm going to grab what the brother brought out.
So I can go back. I'm still in cigarette 16.
You still in 16?
Yeah, I'm still in
Let me see what I see.
I'm about to get to 30.
The brother brought out Revelation 11:8 in the New Internet in the NIV. It says their bodies will lie in the public square of the great city, which is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, where also the Lord was crucified.
Hey, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the modern day
Babylon,
Yep.
Sodom and Egypt.
Yep.
That's here, bro. You can see. We ain't got to go into that too. We don't want to talk too much about the alphabet, but Sodom and Egypt. This is the land of slavery, and it's the land of wickedness. We're gonna leave it at that. All right, go ahead.
Let's see where we at. Second Ezra 16, 23. No, 20. Yeah, 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down.
So right here, but look, the dead shall be what? Cast out like dung. What happens when dead bodies are all over the place? You're gonna have what? What cleans the earth? Rats, bugs, right? Things, rats, bugs, and different types of creatures that the Lord has created to clean the earth. But what also comes with that? Pestilence.
Yeah.
The higher rats, more and more rats trying to eat the dead bodies. Then you're gonna have wolves and wild dogs, and even little fucking house cats are gonna be trying to eat, right? And they're gonna be passing on rabies and diseases, bro. Pestilence is gonna skyrocket, right? Go ahead.
There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it.
Now, why won't there be any more men left to till the earth and sow it?
Right.
Because what? The grinding shall cease. Famine is going to kill a lot of men.
Yep.
War is going to kill the other, and then pestilence. So then at that point, it's going to be like we don't have enough men to go till the land to cultivate more crops. We don't have enough men to go work at the power stations to keep the electricity on. We don't have enough men to go out because, mind you, men are the reason why society is moving. Literally, the entire infrastructure is literally governed by men. Now, if you start wiping all the men out, infrastructure is going to crumble. It's going. All right.
The trees shall give fruit, who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, who shall tread them? For all the places shall be desolate of men. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, but shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clerks of the rocks.
Right, mind you, even though it says only 10 shall be left, that's the Lord ain't really meaning 10.
10, right.
But think about it. In Philadelphia alone, it's probably what something
Hundreds of thousands.
hundreds of thousands. Let's just say it's like 600,000-700,000. Matter of fact, I can just find it. Okay.
It's a big city.
It's a big city. How many
One of the biggest in America.
are in Philadelphia? Philadelphia, 1.5 million, right, in 2022.
Damn, optimism.
Now, 1.5 million might drop down to 100,000 or 200,000. And in that 200,000, it might only be 10 elect, 4 elect, 3 elects, right? Because if you go back to and the reason why I say that is because if you go back to when the Most High came to Abraham, talking about how he was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And then Abraham basically was talking him down. What have you seen? 100, 50, and he got it all the way down to 1. And the Lord said, if you can find 1, then I'll have mercy on this land. The Lord ain't on that type time no more.
Technically, there was one, which was Lot.
Yeah.
But the Most High said, look, fuck all that.
No, because the Lord looked
So
over.
he was like, you know what? All right,
all that. Go get him.
go get Lot, and I'm destroying that
Yeah,
shit.
bro. But look, the Lord ain't worried. The Lord has no respect of persons. So the Lord is going to preserve his, right? Because we're covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai. But all those who are not covered by Yahweh Shai are going to see death, famine, and pestilence, war, right? These things are coming to this place, and every city near you. You know, every time I drive down 95, you know how you see the horizon of the city. I always have a vision of
me
a
too.
missile.
Me too. Every time
I drive
bro.
down 95, and literally you can see the entire city line. Dropping down 95 from my
Every
house.
time I look, I be like, yo.
Every time I look, I'm like, one
wait
day.
here. Boom.
I look down, I'm
Every
like,
time,
one
bro.
day, all of this
That's
shit.
crazy.
gonna
I knew
go.
I wasn't the only one. With
Bro,
that.
every time I drive it,
Yeah.
bro, I drive it downtown, I be like, yo, this shit gonna be going. But listen, this is what we're living in. So mind you, and also you got to think about this. A lot of men are going to be hiding. Fear of their life, because you're not going to want to run into other men, because you're not going to know if they're cannibalists. You're not going to know if they want to rob, rape, and pillage and take what you got, right? Because everybody's going to be out there, survival of the fittest, and everybody going to be for keeps, man. Everybody going to be for keeps, man.
Yeah.
That's
why I said that. It says, "Which shall hide themselves in the thick roads and in the clefts of the rocks," because although they desire to see another man, it's not going to be logical to see another person, because
what's that? Like Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. It's like you want people around because there's strength in numbers, and nobody wants to be alone.
Yep.
But at the same time, you got to be very skeptical about seeing people, because, again, like you said, Walking Dead, you have people who's cannibals, people was out to rob you and take the shit. You know what I mean? Not everybody was looking to build with other people. They'd rather just build what they own and take from other people. And that's going to be the natural nature of most people in the time to come, because most people are inherently wicked.
Without law, most people are brute beasts. Without law, it's brute beasts. So a lot of people ain't gonna be out here, bro. Matter of fact, 2nd Ezra 15, you can start at 14, and it kind of goes into that love of many shall wax cold and all that.
Let's get into it. Let's jump down to 31. It says, even so in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them to search their houses with the sword, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. Alright, it says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, the women shall mourn, having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Alright, so it's going to be a shortage of men. And this is how Isaiah 4:1 is going to come into play, because most of the men are going to die in war. Alright, most men are going to die protecting their families and fighting the wars, like the brother brought out earlier, that it's going to be mandatory at the age of 18.
18 to 26, mandatory.
Men and women have to go into war, but logically, the United States is going to take all the men and then only take the women that they need.
Same thing. We've seen a prelude to this with Ukraine, right? When the war first started in Ukraine, right? They put a decree that no men is allowed to leave, but they let the women and children go. But the men had to stay, and you had a lot of defectors trying to go over the border. They was getting captured and saying, calling it treason, and put into what's up, brother? Put into camps and stuff for treason, for not wanting to fight in that war, right? The same thing's gonna happen in America, but where are Americans gonna go? Gonna flee into Mexico? The Mexicans ain't fucking with us. Well, they ain't fucking with them. Mexicans ain't fucking with white people. You know what I'm saying?
The Lord going to protect
the Lord going to protect the elect. So we not. Yeah, my Salaki, my garment is flying.
It's all good.
It's all good.
That was sell on the way here too.
No, you good, bro?
Good to see you. 1634. In the wars, their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish in famine. Right, because men, if you're a real man in that day, you're going to prioritize the health of your wife and children over yourself.
Yep.
So if you got, 3 pieces of bread, but you got a wife and 2 kids, you're going to give them the food first.
Yep.
And be like, it's cool, I'll eat on the next go around.
Yep.
And eventually what's going to happen is you're not going to have a next go around.
Yep.
Or the rations are going to dwindle and dwindle each time. And then what's going to happen is first is the husband's going to go, and then the wife, and then the children. All right? So that's why you're going to have, like I said,
Or the husband, then cannibalism, then them children.
then the wife, yeah.
Then the children, and then the wife, man. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it right there.
Sections 15 and 14. I know the brother Ashemaiah brought it out. We're gonna start at 14.
I think in 16 is where the cannibalism is.
Well, no, he brought out Salakia. I'm gonna get that too, Ak. Yeah, the brother brought out it's the book of Psalms, chapter 91 and verse 7 in the NIV. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but will not come near you. Those are those brothers. Those brothers, and the reason why I'm saying brothers and not sisters, because the brothers, whatever brother is covered by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, his family is covered. So I'm just talking about the men, because and women need to be clinging to men and Lord. That's why it talks about 7 women shall cling to 1 man.
Isaiah 32:2, a hiding place into the wind, and Isaiah 12 and 13, I believe, the man more precious than fine gold.
Especially because, mind you, if there's going to be a shortage of men because of all of this, when women are looking around, it's going to be communities of women and children hiding in fucking supermarkets and shit, and you might have a man of the Lord walk in clean, or smelling good, or walk in shots fired outside, but he already know he part of the elect. Mind you, gonna know you part of the Jacob Trouble.
Yeah,
you gonna know.
You just escaping.
You just escaping. You like, yeah,
getting a little blessing. Like, damn, I just spent all this food.
You might get an angel. An angel might tell you, go into this market. There's still food stores in there. You walk in, it's 50 women and children, and they got a warehouse of food that they was, and they see you and go, there's a man. Now, mind you, in that day and age, most men ain't gonna want all those women anyway. Trust me when I tell you this. Liabilities. You ain't gonna want none of that shit. Keep it real with you right now. Brothers is gonna be trying to move light. If you got a woman now, keep that.
It'll literally be one of them situations where it'll be on your spirit.
Yeah.
To like, to know take this woman right here.
Yeah.
Other than that, you see a bunch of just naturally like, no, I'm good. And but the Most High will put it on your spirit like, I want this woman delivered.
Exactly.
I gave her unto you, my son.
Yeah, you will know.
Like, okay.
You will know. And then most women in that day ain't gonna be like we see now. Right now they got weave and makeup and getting waxed and all this other shit. In that day and age, women gonna be want to look like men because women gonna be getting ravished. So women gonna be out here trying to get all nasty. Probably, be as nasty as possible, so nobody wants to take them. You gotta see.
The brother Malcolm from Chicago, he dropped a video on a movie going into that where they was cutting their hair, trying to look all manly.
Yeah, they're trying to cut their hair, wearing male clothes and boots, walking around, just trying to keep their heads down, their heads covered because they didn't want to.
And also in Salakia, they were using women as currency too, as trade.
Yeah, they were using women as currency, man. Yeah, bro, that shit's gonna be real, man. Because the only thing that's keeping women safe is other men. When all law and chaos breaks out, who the fuck? Men gonna care about the immediate. My mom, my daughter, my girl, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm single, so I ain't got that issue. But other than that, brothers ain't gonna be out here worrying about like all that chivalry shit. Oh my God, she's being raped. Mama's gonna be turning their head like, man, ain't got nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with that, or let me get some of that some dumbass shit.
I'm in the Lord. We ain't gonna be on that type of time.
Yeah, I know what you
the
mean.
Heathen,
we ain't gonna have to.
We ain't gonna have to.
Right.
And as a man of the Lord, you don't need to.
You don't need to. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because we got
our benefit.
we men of the Lord are all stare and stoic. So we know like, bro, listen, Most High gonna give us women, so we don't have to take it.
And exactly. And in that day and age, women gonna be throwing themselves at the men of the Lord.
Exactly.
Like, take it. We gonna be like, no.
Good.
Let me get it good. You know, off of that one top, let me get this real King David real quick. There's 2nd Esdras 2:27 off the same walk. It says, be not worried, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
And have abundance, right? Like I was watching this. I was watching this magua. It's a Japanese way of saying like manga, and it's basically a book. Like, it's like an audio book, right? And it was going into a post-apocalyptic. The whole world froze over, and it was this one guy who had power to store things into a parallel dimension. And he came across a supermarket with like 30 years worth of fucking food, and he put it all. He was the only one with the power, and put it all into his food store.
Oh, wow.
He put it all into his food store, and all the people and women that didn't want to give him no time of day after they seen him with heat and eating deliciously, they were throwing themselves at him.
Get back.
And he got his get back, and then he became a little cynical because he was like, fuck you, no. Then he was taking certain women as wives and shit like that, but he was like not giving a fuck about the rest of the people because they all were evil to him. But long story short, I'm only bringing that up is because look at it like that. As a man of the Lord, you're going to have abundance. So people are going to be looking at you like, I want to kill that motherfucker. But then the spirit going to be wanting to leave you the fuck alone.
Yep. Yeah, Isaiah 58.
Leave you the fuck alone.
58:18.
You might end up.
58:19.
You might end up.
59:19.
Real quick, next verse.
What?
The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord.
There you go. Beautiful.
The Lord's gonna lift up a standard against them, man.
They're gonna
Even
be
if they even find it in their hearts to try you.
Yep.
The Most High is gonna lift up a standard against them. All right, whether it's by your hands or by the hands of the angels.
Yep. And we already know Michael is going to be sent out to cover the children of Israel, man. Right? And when Michael was sent out, you think Michael going by himself? No, Michael going to take his legions with him. Michael is a general. He going to be like, hey, the Lord sent me. Let's go.
Hey, remember, that's why it's so important to put out, to store up so much spiritual blessings right now, because Jacob's trouble is not for the elect. Let's just let that be very clear. It's for the wicked of our people. Although the elect is going to be a trying of their faith, the refine is like the final refinement. Because we going through our trials now. That's like that last little rinse. So it's not going to be vicious for us, but for the wicked of our people, it's for their judgment. So if you're doing all of the work now, if you're willing to take your suffering now, which is light affliction according to the scriptures, you're going to be set up so greater in the Jacob's trouble that it's going to be even better than this society, because you don't have to worry about a lot of other shit. You don't got to worry about bills and all that. It's one of them things where you know for a fact you're relying 100% on the Lord. It's going to feel good because the Most High is going to show you.
And that's what's going to please the Lord. So, like the brother said, it's going to be that last little rinse or ironing out of your faith, right? Making you fit for the kingdom. Jacob's trouble is going to make the elect fit for the kingdom, right? The reason why is because that's when the Lord will be like, all right, you've been talking all this good shit about your faith. Show it. And then guess what? Then you're going to start pray to the Lord and certain things, and the Lord going to be pleased with you. And then He's going to be like, yo, send them angels, man. He good money. And next you know, you're going to go from hardships to, yo, this. I just seen 100 bodies dead. Bro, ain't nothing happened to me. I just ran into a supermarket that nobody knew about. I went into the basement and they had food stores for the next fucking 10 years.
That's why that one what's that joint called? Oh yeah, the movie we all the brothers raving over, the Leave the World Behind. That's why that very end scene is spiritual as hell, because that little girl will represent the elect, while she found that basement with all that bunker joint. Yeah.
And she didn't even understand. She's
chilling.
Because remember, they was like, oh, the neighbor's house, and she walked in,
doors open.
Yeah. She went down to the
around.
basement. You know what I'm saying? It was food. She turned on the TV, sat there, and was just like, I'm good.
And she knew where it was. Because she listened.
Somebody
the boy told her that. She listened to it when she was eavesdropping in the car, I think.
She was in the car.
She walked off,
and the boy was like, he was shotgun, like, get out of here. I can't help you. And he's like, yo, you might as well go check out. And he said, go check out that house. I know I helped them build their bunker, right? So stuff like that, man. But go ahead. Where you at? Go back to 2nd Esdras 15. 15.
We ain't even grab this. Let me just grab it just for edification. Let me bring it out. Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land. Oh, no, not that one. And that's going to happen.
Well, that's
too.
going to happen part of it,
So
too.
I'll bring it out. A famine, not a famine of bread or thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. That's it. What else we got? This is Psalms 107, and I'm gonna start at 33. He turneth rivers into wilderness, and the water springs into dry ground. A fruitful land into barrenness for the wickedness of them that dwell therein. He turneth the wilderness into a standing water, and the dry ground into water springs.
And you know what's crazy? There's an account in the Bible that we can see today that the Lord actually did this. Guess what? Egypt. If you know anything about the Fertile Crescent, Egypt was a tropical area. It wasn't all desert like they try to make it seem today.
Yeah.
It was green, lush, fucking, they had tropical and the Nile River
In
and
Israel, because the scriptures
Yeah.
say a land flowing with milk and
honey.
Yeah.
And then also
Can't have
remember,
milk and honey
remember
in
when
the
Joseph and the Israelites took over the most fertile land in Egypt. It used to be luscious. Now you go to Egypt, you see desert. Why? Because the Lord dried it up for its
Dried it
wickedness. He's like, oh, you let my people go? Oh, that's how you feel? Guess what? Fuck this whole thing. They never was a great nation ever again. When you think of Egypt, you just think of, oh, this is a place to go visit and see the pyramids. You don't think about a great nation and what is a power in the earth.
Never.
I didn't even know that Egypt had a fucking army.
Egypt is not a talk of the world like it used to be.
Egyptian army?
Egypt used to be a power. Egypt used to be like
The
a powerhouse,
powerhouse.
like North
It was-
Korea,
it was
Russia.
It was the powerhouse.
Remember during the time of Joseph when he had that famine, the whole world came to them because of his vision.
Yeah.
And they had to come to them.
Not
for
only
food.
that, just the pyramids, the technology
Yeah.
and the intelligence and all that.
They say a lot of the teachings, a lot of the books in history and technology and stuff that was found in Egypt during what the Greek empires. They went into Egypt and ransacked. That's where you got Cleopatra, Mark Antony when they went through there. This is when Egypt was whitewashed. The real Egyptians went into Sudanese. The Sudanese are the real Egyptians. If you look at them,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
chocolate ass brothers,
Tall as shit.
tall and chocolate. Those are the real Egyptians. They're in the Sudan, right? But those who are living there now are descendants of Ishmael and Greeks. And a lot of Ishmaelites are mixed with the Greeks.
Yep.
A lot of people that's why Ishmael is so light. And then I don't want to get too much into history, but if you know anything about how Islam, the great crusades of Islam and how it spread, and why in northern Africa is usually all light-skinned motherfuckers and all the black people or dark-skinned motherfuckers moved down. That was because of colorism and everything like that from Moorish empires. But we're not going to get into that right now. It's a different topic. Shoot. Oh, you sold 15.
Yeah. You want 15, 14 from Rip?
Yeah, you can start from the wrist.
Second Esdras 15, starting at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Go on.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
And the main reason why this is going to happen because resources are going to be scarce. Literally, I just read an article said that we fought wars over oil, and the future wars are over food and water. What do you think that like I said, most of these European countries are all import countries. America is an import country. We barely produce anything and send it out. Back in World War I and World War
Most
II.
of our farmland is local.
Yep, most of our farmland is local, and it's being bought up by what? By Bill Gates, Bill Snakes, and what? The Chinese are buying it all up. Why is that? Why is America allowing it to happen? Because America's a corporation and is actually really not a freaking, really not a real country. But you understand that because most European nations are all import nations, these nations are going to be going to war over resources. And then there's probably still, like they already do now, still treating their people like shit. So actually all those resources are going to be stockpiled for the elite in their bunkers, which we will have our chance to hunt them motherfuckers up out of that. But that's a whole nother topic as well. Go ahead.
It says, this is the point. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
The lack of bread and great tribulation, right? Your next door neighbor, mind you, most cities, everybody's on top of each other. You want to know where you don't want to be during this time? New York. New York is overpopulated. It's a fucking island. Literally, you got to go over one of the fucking bridges to get out of it. And then, literally, if truckers and stuff stop coming in, the famine is going to hit so hard in New York that you got to think about the death toll in that place, man.
It was already
how many-
infested with fucking rats.
Yep. How many people are in New York? Let's see this right now. I gotta see this.
If Philly is 1.5, New York gotta be at least double.
Cause they on some 134th Street.
It gotta
shit
be
like
double,
that, like,
bro. It's gotta be almost triple. So 1.5 for Philly. So New York gotta be at least 3.
Shit. Nope. Times that by 2.
5 million,
6 mil?
Add 2 more.
7.
8.3 million people.
Damn.
Shit.
Man,
All out war breaking loose in that area, man. All out war, bro. All out war, man.
Because most of New York City is high rises,
Yep.
condominiums. You know, only really when you go to like the more affluent areas do you see people with single homes or row homes.
Yeah, you go,
Most of that
you go
shit
to
is
Staten Island,
Manhattan,
Man-
certain parts of Manhattan,
well, certain parts, man.
certain parts of Manhattan.
Near JFK, where was that? Is that Brooklyn?
Brooklyn,
Near
certain parts of Brooklyn.
Yeah, they have actually single homes, but guess what? They still on top of each other.
But even though it'll be like how Center City is, like the tall rows,
Yep.
the 3-4 story rows.
Yep.
But when you go to those like the hoods in New York City, bro, all niggas is in high rises.
Yep,
bro.
and they're all in the projects. A bunch of projects. So you got to think they packed in like sardines, and you already know what happens to niggas when they have scarce resources, with plenty of alcohol and plenty of guns, bro. Jacob's trouble. It's as simple as that, man. Let me get the wooskies.
matter of fact, might be able to
The brother said NYC was originally a swamp. Yeah, bro. I believe that. That's why it's sinking. That's why it's sinking. That's exactly why it's sinking. Got ahead.
Got it.
What you got? You think about?
He was already in section 16.
Oh yeah, no, I see.
Jeremiah 50.
Yeah, 50 is good. No, 50. Okay. Yeah, 50. I got it.
You started. Okay.
Jeremiah 50, starting from the top.
Okay.
The word of the Lord Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh a nation against her.
You know what's I'm kind of glad we grabbed this, bro. I watched this TikTok. It was this Edomite breaking down this precept, and he was like, "That land of the north, man, that gotta be Russia coming at America." Even Edomites know Great Babylon is America, and he was saying that the land of the north, because remember that's the northern country over there, is going to come at Great Babylon. Go ahead.
And shall make her desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove and shall depart both man and beast. In those days, and that fits prophecy because it says Babylon will be a heat wasteland. It says, and in those days and in that time, saith Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, and they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahweh their God. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten, which is those new bodies.
Yep. Second covenant.
My people have been lost sheep, their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains, they have gone from mountain to hill, they have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they know that we didn't do no wrong because the children of Israel, they sinned against their power. Mm-hmm. So we're just doing natural order, karma. We're karma, if you will. Mm-hmm. You know. It says, remove out in the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as he goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country.
From the North Country.
Russia,
Russia,
Korea,
Russia with all those.
Russia is literally being a defense to all the other nations and be creating allies.
Everybody fucking Russia.
Everybody fuck with Russia. What? It's like it. Did you see what what Putin said? Putin said that this was the African Americans' land and that he was going to free the land for us.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So Putin basically saying, I'm going to go to war with America and give the land back to the African Americans. Now, this land going to be destroyed. Obviously, he's not reading prophecy, but we understand.
do it,
But no, we understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, coming from.
He thinks he's fighting for the Lord. Well, he is, but he literally in his head think he's fighting for the Lord, bro.
Yeah.
That's why he came out and was like, yo, the real Jesus is black. The real Hebrew Israelites are black. Da-da-da-da-da. He's doing that on purpose, bro. Something is in his spirit to reveal truth and go to war at the wicked. All right.
It says, they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain. I'm gonna go down to 13. Because of the wrath of Yahweh it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her
So
plagues.
that's pretty much like going by and be like, damn, that's
bro.
crazy how that shit went down.
Revelation 18 will talk about how the ships going to be off the coast, like, yeah.
God damn.
I'm gonna go to 16. It says 14. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Really going into those those missiles. Shoot at her, spare no arrows. She have sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she have done, do unto her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land.
They gonna have no choice.
God, man. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, and shalom to the elect.
Shalom.
Shalom to all you brothers in the comment.